This week's Parsha, Nitzavin, the Shabbos before Rosh Hashanah. The Dvar Torah brought to you by Be There Israel and Or Chadash. Shana Tovah. So this Parsha we always read before Rosh Hashanah. And it begins, Atem Nitzavim Hayom Kulchem Lifnei Hashem Elokeichem. You are standing today, all of you, before God. Every word in this verse is pregnant with meaning. We're going to concentrate on just one of them, Hayom. What does it mean? You are standing today before Hashem Elokeichem. The obvious thing, because we've been mentioning it in previous parshas, is this is always read before Rosh Hashanah. So the Zohar says the Hayom, the today being talked about, is Rosh Hashanah. Because that's the day we all stand before God, Jews and non-Jews alike, whether we know it or we don't know it, that God is judging the entire world on Rosh Hashanah. So this verse is interpreted as meaning that everyone stands before God in Rosh Hashanah. A more, call it, simple understanding or storyline is that in the previous parsha, actually the majority of Parsha Ki Tavo deals with the blessings and curses. Back in Parsha Re'eh, we said that God said, I am putting before you today a blessing and curse. And we mentioned that later in the Torah would spell this out in great detail. So in the end of Parsha Ki Tavo, it spells it out. And there are actually 9, along with all kinds of wonderful blessings for listening to the words of God and upholding the Torah. The Torah is telling us that if we don't, then there are 98 curses. And if you read these, they're very difficult to read, because anyone who knows Jewish history and reads them knows that they've all come true. They've all come true. Now, it should be pointed out that it's not so much that we're cursed if we don't listen, but God is explaining, like everything in life has consequences. If you do one way, there's one set of consequences. If you do another, there's another set. So we understand this not even as a punishment, but God is just telling us, just like a parent tells a child, if you do certain things, you have to expect certain consequences. So after 98 curses, the Midrash says, the people came to Moshe and said, how are we going to survive? Like, after reading this, like, how are we going to make it? And Moshe says, Atem nitzavim hayom kolchem lifnei Hashem Elokeichem. You're still standing before God. The Jewish people will never disappear. We will always be here. We will always be standing before God. So we understand the opening here as what's called giving chizuk, giving strength to that generation after they heard the curses. Another explanation of Hayom is this is the day in which Moshe leaves the world. The last few parshas of the Torah all occur on Moshe's last day. So when he says Hayom, it's hinting to Moshe's last day. Another way of interpreting this is many times in the Torah when it says Hayom, today, it doesn't necessarily mean a specific day. It means what we would say the eternal present that exists in all the words of the Torah. That's why when we come to Har Sinai, and we come to the desert of Sinai, so it says that we came Bayom hazeh, on this day. And Rashi points out in the context, the grammatical context of the sentence, it should have said Bayom ahu, on that day we came, because it's talking in the past sense. So what does it mean, on this day? So Rashi says that we should learn to experience the Torah as if it's been given today, every day. Not that it was given one time at Sinai, but that every day, Hayom, by Yom Hazeh, it's as if the Torah is being given. So all of these different ideas are connected to this word Hayom. There's another couple significant usages of the word Hayom. In one of the Psalms, God says to David, Hayom yoladeticha, today I have given birth to you. And it's explained in Chassidut that, according to the Midrash, David HaMelech was not given any time in this world. It was a very strange situation that his soul was meant to come in this world, but there was no a time apportioned for him. So the Midrash says that Adam saw this, and the Arizal teaches that the letters of Adam, the Aleph of Adam is Adam, the Dalet is David, and the Mem is Mashiach. In other words, Adam could see into the future. And he saw the soul of David, and he saw that no time was apportioned to him, so he gave 70 years of his life. But we're told that David's everyday experience of life was like an existential tightrope. Because on one hand, he was incredibly joyous to be alive, and the Psalms are full of his praises and his awareness of being in the present moment. At the same time, he was also feeling that his life was about to be taken away from him. This was his existential reality. So when God says, Hayom yoladeticha, it doesn't mean on any particular day. But David felt at every moment that he was being given life anew. And of course, when we come towards Rosh Hashanah, this would be a tremendous goal to work for as far as our own consciousness, to nurture this idea of living in the present, the Hayom, and experiencing every moment as if it was a bonus that we have it. There's one more Hayom I just want to discuss briefly, and that's a famous story in the Gemara that Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi meets Eliyahu Navi, and he says, when is the Mashiach coming? And actually, it was that he met the soul of the Mashiach. I correct myself. Yeshua ben Levi was in the presence of the soul of the Mashiach and said, when are you coming? And he said, today, Hayom. So Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi was ecstatic. The Mashiach himself told me he's coming today. And so all day, every moment, he's expecting some full revelation of Mashiach coming. The day ends, no Mashiach. So then, Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi meets Eliyahu Navi, and he says, the Mashiach was not truthful. He told me he's coming today, and he didn't come. And Eliyahu Navi said, you didn't understand. When he said Hayom, it was in the context of the verse, Hayom im bekolo tishma'u. Today, if you will listen to his voice. He assumed you understood that when Israel would listen to God's words in their truest sense and fulfill them, then Hayom, Mashiach will come. And of course, that Hayom could be any day. In other words, in potential, the full redemption of the world is ready to happen at any split second. So this Shabbos, we're getting ready for Rosh Hashanah. And just a short thing about the word kulchem. And you are standing, all of you, before God. The Torah goes on and explains 10 different divisions of the Jewish people and how they're all standing before. And that is the simple meaning. And a deeper meaning, it says, all of you, addressing the individual. That when we stand before God in Rosh Hashanah, it has to be all of you, kulchem. So we should all have the bracha to put our whole heart and soul into the prayers of Rosh Hashanah and be aware of God's existence and God's brachas to us, Hayom. Thanks for watching this Devar Torah. If you like what you heard, which I hope you did, please come to our YouTube station, our website, our Facebook, our blog, our Twitter, and take advantage of a plethora of Torah, of audio classes, videos, poetry, stories, music, word and gematria search. You'll find a lot there, and please share this with your friends. www.thetrugmans.com